Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different twists and turns, as well as surprises in this film by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So, what's really exciting about this is that we do know that J.J. Abrams is inserting a lot of new elements into this story, and one of the big ones that a lot of people are really curious about is, of course, exactly how J.J. is going to utilize the character of Luke Skywalker portrayed by Mark Hamill once more. And let's face it, this movie is going to be a very emotional one because this is the last and final Star Wars movie that Mark Hamill will be portraying the character of Luke Skywalker on the big screen. So, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions and one of the set leaks, this is where things begin to get very exciting for the character of Luke. Now, specifically, it's described that one of the scenes that were shot during the month of January of this year included Mark Hamill, Daisy Ridley, and Adam Driver, where Mark Hamill was said to be walking slowly in front of a green screen in the form of a Luke's Force ghost, where in post-production he would be transparent with the blue hue. However, it's described that the scene involves Mark Hamill eventually walking up to Adam Driver and placing his hand on his forehead, where in that scenario, it's described that one of the effects planned for post-production is that while Luke's Force ghost is touching Kylo's forehead, Luke is described to change back into solid form, as if he is flesh and blood to rid of a certain evil that has made its way into Kylo Ren. The scene was dubbed as Luke's Restoration, where Luke was dressed in his Jedi robes and had the beard and short hair like on Crate. It's said that John Williams plans to record a special track for the scene that is dedicated to Luke's new power this June. Additionally, one of the concept art descriptions describes that while Luke is using this power, changing from being older to far younger, in the flesh in the form of Luke Skywalker. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that J.J. Abrams has a lot of tricks up his sleeve in this movie in order to truly make this movie stand on its own and to make it seem like a very unique and original movie. So, the one thing that a lot of fans are really trying to figure out here is, of course, exactly what's going on in this particular scenario. Well, to me, this is a big hint and or indicator that this is Luke Skywalker resurrecting himself or coming back to life temporarily. As this has been done before in Legends by the character of Luke Skywalker himself, it seems like JJ is trying to cherry pick from, of course, the EU in order to do something rather incredible. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to go over here. We've heard about this lightly before in the past, about Luke Skywalker transitioning from a Force ghost to solid form as if he is flesh and blood. And I also want to go over and take note that the actual scene is dubbed as Luke's Restoration, where he's placing his hand on top of an unconscious Kylo Ren on his forehead, where he's able to use a certain power to rid of a certain evil that has made its way into Kylo's body. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me this sounds like that this has something to do with the Spirit of Sidious that has a big role in Episode 9. In case you guys did not know, the Spirit of Sidious is in fact going to be a part in Episode 9 for the character of Emperor Palpatine, and it's very possible that that is exactly what this new evil inside of Kylo Ren really is, that Luke Skywalker is getting rid of. Now, additionally, while Luke Skywalker is using this power, the appearance of Luke changes from him being older to far younger. A far younger version of Luke Skywalker would also make sense as to why we actually went over a couple of months ago that Mark Hamill was actually using these CGI pieces of tape on his face in order for them to use de-aging technology. Kind of like what they did with Tony Stark and Michael Douglas and Ant-Man and, all the other characters, right? So, with that being said, guys, I gotta say that this movie really seems like that JJ is really trying to do a lot of surprises, a lot of twists and turns, that's not only going to change Star Wars lore and the entire Star Wars franchise, but it's also going to allow us to see certain angles of the franchise that have never been pulled off before by previous creators, like, let's say, for example, George Lucas, Rian Johnson, even though I have a lot of problems with The Last Jedi, and the whole use of Force projection was a big controversy. But, with that being said, this particular scenario, it seems like JJ really wants to honor the character of Luke to do something truly amazing that fans would never expect to see in Episode 9. So anyways, guys, what I really think about all of this is that J.J. Abrams is trying to introduce new force powers in order to really evolve the Star Wars franchise into something completely new that fans have never experienced before on the big screen, which honestly, guys, it really is. And it absolutely is very ambitious of JJ to think like this and to do something just like this. It shows us that he's very goal-driven. He's trying to really provide us with the best Star Wars movie that we can actually hope for in the sequel trilogy. And especially, doing something great for the character of Luke. And a lot of people, including myself, had a lot of issues with Luke in, episode 8. And I feel like that this is JJ's way of making up for all of that. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.